Hi, today I want to talk to you about proper sitting posture. Part of sitting posture, the reason why it's so important is because we know our spines can do something called spinal molding. And what will happen with the spine is if you get into a position, in particular a bad position, or a good one, but in a bad one, if you're in a bad position for longer than 20 minutes, what ends up happening is your spine literally will mold into that position. So if you're sitting on a really soft sofa or a soft couch and you get into that flexed position, remember this is how our spine should sit, it's supposed to have these nice curves. If you sit on a couch or a really soft sofa, what'll end up happening is you literally get yourself into this position. You will flex forward, your head comes forward, you flex your pelvis. And if you sit like that for 20 minutes, your spine literally will mold into that position. So that's why I'm always talking to people in my office about proper sitting posture, and I'll always ask about what is your desk chair like, what are you sitting when you're watching TV, how are you sitting? So you have to be very aware of what spinal molding can do when you're sitting in improper postures, especially for longer than about 20 minutes. So what does proper sitting look like? So when you're sitting in a chair, the most important thing is to make sure that you maintain that low back curve or your lumbar curve. So you want to avoid the slouch, right? If you get into a really soft sofa, or if you're sitting in class and you start slouching, you get into this C shape, and that puts a huge amount of pressure through your neck and your low back. So super important that you keep that curve in your low back. Sit right back into your chair. You want to make sure knees are 90 degrees, hips are 90 degrees. If you have armrests, use them. Super important for your shoulders, just to keep your shoulders supported if you're going to be sitting for any period of time. That means driving or at a computer. As far as computer desks goes and computers monitors, you want to make sure that the monitor, the top part of the monitor, is lined up with your forehead, so that you're sitting in a nice forward. You want to make sure you're not dropping your head down to look at the monitor, and you also want to make sure that you're not looking up, because you just want to have that nice curve in your neck. The other thing, super important for anybody that carries a wallet in their pocket, make sure you take your wallet out of your pocket if you're going to be sitting for any period of time. What a wallet does, when you look at the spine, you sit on a wallet, what it's going to do literally is tip your spine off like this, and you sit like that for 20 minutes, and then you mold yourself into this crooked pelvic kind of posture, and then you wonder why when you try to get up you can't move properly. So very important that you take your wallet out of your pocket before you sit down. The other thing I want you to remember is when you're in a vehicle, you have to make sure that you set your headrest properly for you, especially in the event of a car accident. You want to make sure that you're being supported properly. So make sure you pull the back of your chair up so that your headrest is only about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the back of your head. The very last thing we ever want to see is your headrest down below the height of your ears, because if you ever get involved in a car accident and you get hit from behind, that headrest will actually act as a fulcrum, and your head will come back, and that's where we get the really nasty whiplash, where you end up with a whole pile of trauma to your neck and to your nerve and to your spinal cord as well. So very important that you bring the back of your seat up so that your headrest is sitting about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the back of your head. Generally, that actually will put your lumbar spine in the right position as well, and you'll be sitting nice and comfortable in your seat. Again, last thing you want to do is drop that back of your seat back. It's going to force you again into that forward C-shaped posture, and it causes a huge amount of stress on your spine and nervous system. So again, very important, lumbar spine, keep yourself upright, save yourself a lot of grief, especially if you have low back pain. Be very aware of how you are sitting. If you're going to be sitting on a sofa or going for a drive, you really want to make sure you have that proper spinal posture.